The ultimatum. The holographic projection flickered to life in the United Nations General Assembly Hall, casting an eerie blue glow across the faces of Earth's most powerful leaders. The alien figure that materialized was tall and imposing, its features a bizarre mix of insectoid and reptilian characteristics. As it spoke, its mandibles clicked and its compound eyes glinted with an unsettling intelligence. People of Earth, the alien's voice reverberated through the hall, a cold and metallic timbre that sent shivers down the spines of those present. I am Xarlath, emissary of the Galactic Council. Your planet has been deemed worthy of attention. Secretary General Amina Okafor stood firm, her dark eyes never wavering from the alien's gaze. We welcome peaceful contact with other civilizations, she said, her voice steady despite the tension in the room. Xarlath's mandibles twitched in what might have been amusement. Peace is a luxury afforded to those who can defend it, human. The Galactic Council demands tribute from your world. Resources, technology, and a portion of your population for labor. Comply, and you may continue your existence under our benevolent rule. Refuse, and face annihilation. A murmur of shock and outrage rippled through the assembly. Okafor's jaw tightened, but she maintained her composure. Surely, there must be room for negotiation. We have much to offer as equal partners in galactic society. The alien's laughter was a harsh, grating sound. Equal. Your species has barely taken its first steps into space. You have nothing to offer but obedience. You have one orbital cycle of your planet to prepare your tribute. Choose wisely. With that, the hologram vanished, leaving the hall in stunned silence. As the implications of the ultimatum sank in, chaos erupted. Delegates shouted, some calling for immediate surrender, others for defiance. Okafor raised her hands, calling for order. We must remain united in the face of this threat, she urged. I call for an emergency closed session to discuss our options. In the days that followed, Earth's nations set aside their differences in the face of this existential threat. Military leaders, scientists, and diplomats worked around the clock to formulate a response. In secure facilities around the globe, long-hidden technologies were brought to light. The fruits of reverse-engineered alien tech from crashed UFOs and secret space programs that had been dismissed as conspiracy theories for decades. Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, head of a clandestine international research team, presented their findings to a select group of world leaders. We've made significant breakthroughs in propulsion, energy generation, and weapons systems, he explained, his holographic display showing sleek spacecraft designs. With a united effort, we can build a fleet capable of defending Earth. General Maria Valdez, a hardened veteran of countless conflicts, scrutinized the plans. How long? She asked, her voice gruff with the weight of responsibility. Tanaka's expression was grim. To build a fleet that stands a chance. 11 months, if we push our industries to the breaking point and requisition every available resource. The aliens gave us 12, Valdez noted, a hint of a smile playing at her lips. I like those odds. As the decision to resist spread across the globe, humanity united in a way it never had before. Factories were retooled to produce spacecraft components. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to refine alien-derived technologies, and a new generation of pilots trained in secret facilities on the far side of the moon. The public face of this effort was one of compliance. Okafor and other world leaders made public statements about gathering resources for the tribute, all while the largest covert operation in human history unfolded beneath the surface. In the shipyards of Earth orbit and the hidden bases on Mars, a fleet took shape, sleek destroyers bristling with energy weapons, carriers laden with swarms of fighter craft, and at the heart of it all, the flagship Defiance, a battleship that represented the pinnacle of human engineering and alien-inspired technology. As the deadline approached, tension mounted. The fleet was ready, but untested. Humanity's fate would rest on the shoulders of men and women who had trained for a war unlike any in history. Admiral Chen Wei stood on the bridge of the Defiance, gazing at the assembled fleet, A lifetime of naval service had prepared him for command, but nothing could truly prepare anyone for this moment. He turned to his executive officer, Commander Isham Kruma. "Status report, Commander," he ordered, his voice calm despite the weight of billions of lives hanging in the balance. Nkruma's fingers danced across her holographic interface. "All ships report ready, Admiral. Weapon systems green. Shields at full capacity. The last of the civilian transports are docking at the lunar shelters." Chen nodded, allowing himself a small smile. "Then we are as ready as we'll ever be. Broadcast to all ships. Operation Defiance is now in effect. May fortune favor the bold." As the fleet moved into position, hidden from alien sensors by advanced cloaking technology, a single message was broadcast across every communication channel on Earth. "People of Earth, this is Secretary General Amina Okafor. To the Galactic Council, we say this: humanity bows to no one. We choose freedom. We choose defiance. And if it's a fight you want, then by all that is holy, it's a fight you shall have." The stars seemed to glitter with anticipation as humanity prepared to announce its presence to the galaxy, not with tribute, but with the thunder of battleships and the unbreakable will of a species that refused to submit. The stage was set. The Galactic Council's emissaries would arrive expecting a cowering planet ready to be subjugated. Instead, they would face the full fury of a united Earth, ready to fight for its place among the stars. As the alien ships appeared on long-range sensors, Admiral Chen gave the order that would echo through history. "All ships, battle stations. For Earth and all her children. Attack. Operation Defiance." The vast emptiness of space erupted into chaos as Earth's fleet engaged the Galactic Council's forces. Admiral Chen Wei's voice rang out clear and commanding over the communications channels. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Alpha. Carriers, launch fighter squadrons. Destroyers, form up and prepare to engage their capital ships." Commander Isham Kruma's fingers flew across her console, relaying orders and coordinating the complex dance of ships and weaponry. "Admiral, enemy fleet composition is larger than anticipated." They'd brought 3 dreadnoughts instead of the expected one. Chen's expression remained impassive, but his mind raced through tactical possibilities. "Adjust targeting priorities. Concentrate fire on the lead dreadnought. Let's show them what humanity can do." The human fleet moved with practiced precision, their maneuvers catching the alien forces off guard. Swarms of Earth fighters, piloted by the best humanity had to offer, darted between the lumbering alien capital ships, their advanced energy weapons leaving scorch marks on hulls that had never known defeat. Captain Zara Yoshida, leader of the Black Raven fighter squadron, barrel-rolled her craft to avoid enemy fire. "Ravens, form up on me. We're going for their command ship's sensor array. Hit it hard and fast." The squadron of sleek, black fighters streaked across the battlefield, weaving through a maze of laser fire and debris. Yoshida's targeting computer locked onto the alien dreadnought's vulnerable spots that Dr. Tanaka's team had identified through countless simulations. "Fire," Yoshida commanded, and a barrage of missiles streaked towards the alien vessel. Explosions blossomed across the dreadnought's hull, and its return fire became erratic. Back on the Defiance, Admiral Chen allowed himself a grim smile. "Well done, Captain Yoshida. All ships, press the advantage. Don't let them regroup." As the battle raged, Earth's destroyers unleashed salvos of energy weapons, their concentrated fire overwhelming alien shields. The Council's ships, despite their advanced technology, found themselves outmaneuvered by human tactics they had never encountered before. Commander Nkruma's voice cut through the chaos. "Admiral, we're detecting a surge of energy from the enemy flagship. They're preparing to use some sort of super weapon." Chen's mind raced. This was the moment they had prepared for, the ace up humanity's sleeve. "Initiate Operation Trojan Horse. All ships, execute evasive pattern Delta." Across the human fleet, specially designed modules detached from their carrier ships. These modules, packed with a mixture of advanced technology, and simpler, yet ingenious designs hurtled towards the alien vessels. Dr. Tanaka's voice came over the comm. "Remember, Admiral, the beauty of this plan is in its simplicity. Sometimes the old ways are the best. As the modules impacted the alien ships, they didn't explode. Instead, they latched on, drilling through the hulls. From within, swarms of nanobots were released, a creation that merged cutting-edge human eye with reverse-engineered alien tech. The effect was almost immediate. Alien ship systems began to falter, their advanced computers unable to cope with the aggressive and unpredictable nature of the human-designed AI. Weapons went offline, shields flickered, and some ships began to drift aimlessly. "It's working," Nkrumah exclaimed, her usual composure cracking with excitement. "Their systems are in disarray." Chen nodded, his voice steady. "Now for Phase 2. All ships, concentrate fire on the disabled vessels. Fighter squadrons, target their engines and weapons systems." The battle shifted dramatically. Human ships, their systems unaffected by the nanobots, pressed their advantage. The alien fleet, once an unstoppable force, now found itself fighting a losing battle against an enemy they had grossly underestimated. As the tide turned, a transmission cut through the chaos. The face of Aktarlath, the alien emissary, appeared on the Defiance's main screen. Gone was the arrogant superiority, replaced by a mix of shock and grudging respect. This is unprecedented." Aktarlath's voice wavered. "How is this possible? You were supposed to be primitive, helpless." Admiral Chen stood tall, his voice firm. "You made a grave error, emissary. Humanity is neither primitive nor helpless. We are innovative, adaptable, and above all, we are free." Your council's demand for tribute was met with the only response it deserved: defiance. Aktarlath's mandibles clicked in agitation. "The council will not stand for this. This battle may be lost, but the war—" Chen cut him off. "There need not be a war, Aktarlath. We have demonstrated our capability and our resolve. Now we offer a choice. Retreat and inform your council that Earth is not to be trifled with, or continue this fight and face total defeat." The alien's compound eyes seemed to narrow. "You would offer terms. After this, we fight to defend, not to conquer," Chen replied. "Humanity seeks its place among the stars, not dominion over others. But make no mistake, we will fight to our last breath to remain free." There was a long pause, filled only by the distant sounds of battle. Finally, Aktarlath spoke. "I will convey your message to the council. This is not over, humans, but for now, we will withdraw." As the transmission cut off, Chen turned to his crew. "Maintain battle readiness. Trust, but verify." True to Aktarlath's word, the remaining alien ships began to retreat, jumping to faster-than-light travel in flashes of light. As the last enemy vessel disappeared, a cheer went up across the human fleet. Admiral Chen allowed the celebration for a moment before speaking. "Well done, all of you. But this is only the beginning. We've won a battle, but the real challenge lies ahead. Humanity has announced its presence to the galaxy in a way that cannot be ignored. We must be prepared for what comes next." Commander Nkrumah nodded solemnly. "What are your orders, Admiral?" Chen's gaze swept across the bridge, taking in the faces of his crew. Human faces that now represented Earth to the wider galaxy. "We secure our victory, tend to our wounded, and prepare. The Galactic Council will return, and when they do, they'll find a humanity ready to take its place among the stars. Not as servants or subjects, but as equals." As the fleet regrouped and began the journey back to Earth, news of the victory spread across the planet. Celebrations erupted in every city, every town. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged victorious. But in secure facilities around the globe, leaders and scientists knew the truth. This was not the end, but a beginning. Earth had won its first interstellar battle, But the war for its place in the galaxy was just beginning. The real work, diplomacy, further technological development, and preparing for the inevitable return of the Galactic Council, was about to start. As the Defiance approached Earth orbit, Admiral Chen stood at the viewport, watching his home planet grow larger. The weight of responsibility was heavy on his shoulders, but there was also pride. Humanity had proven itself capable of incredible feats when united. Whatever challenges the galaxy might bring, he knew that the spirit that had won this day would see them through. The stars no longer seemed cold and distant. They were a frontier, full of both danger and promise, and humanity was ready to meet that future head-on. The weeks following humanity's victory over the Galactic Council's forces were a whirlwind of activity. Earth buzzed with a mixture of celebration and anxious preparation. The once secret space fleet now orbited the planet openly, a symbol of both protection and defiance. In the newly constructed United Earth Defense Headquarters in Geneva, Admiral Chen Wei stood before a holographic display of the solar system. Red markers indicated the outermost sensor perimeters, an early warning system hastily deployed in the wake of the battle. Our window of opportunity is closing. Chen addressed the assembled world leaders. The Galactic Council's faster-than-light communications will have already informed them of their defeat. We must assume they're preparing a response. Secretary General Amina Okafor nodded gravely. What are our options, Admiral? Before Chen could respond, Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka stepped forward, his usual lab coat replaced by a crisp suit. If I may, I believe our best defense lies in further technological advancement. The nanobots were effective, but the Council will adapt. We need to push further, faster. General Maria Valdez, her uniform adorned with new medals from the recent battle, interjected. Technology alone won't save us. We need to expand our fleet, establish off-world colonies as a failsafe. Mars, Europa, Titan. We need to spread out, become harder to eradicate. The room erupted into debate, the tension palpable. Admiral Chen raised his hand, silencing the group. All of these are necessary, but we're overlooking a crucial element: intelligence. We know almost nothing about the Galactic Council, their true capabilities, or the wider galaxy. We need eyes and ears out there. Okafor's eyes lit up with understanding. You're proposing a covert operation. Chen nodded. Precisely. A small team, our best and brightest, on a stealth ship. Their mission: to infiltrate Galactic Council space, gather intelligence, and perhaps even find potential allies. We can't face the entire galaxy alone. The proposal was met with murmurs of approval and concern. It was risky, but the potential rewards were immeasurable. After hours of debate, the decision was made. Operation Cosmic Scout would commence immediately. Captain Zara Yoshida stood in awe before the sleek vessel that would be her home for the foreseeable future. The NSV Shadow, Earth's first true stealth spaceship, was a marvel of human ingenuity and reverse-engineered alien tech. She's beautiful, isn't she? A voice came from behind her. Zara turned to see Commander Aisha Nkrumah approaching, a duffel bag slung over her shoulder. Zara nodded, a mix of excitement and trepidation in her voice. That she is. Hard to believe we're really doing this. Venturing into the unknown, beyond anything humanity has ever attempted. Aisha smiled, her eyes reflecting the same mixture of emotions. If anyone can pull this off, it's this crew. Speaking of which, shall we meet the rest of the team? As they boarded the Shadow, they were greeted by the rest of their hand-picked crew. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, Hiroshi's daughter and a brilliant xenobiologist, was already poring over data on her tablet. Sergeant Dmitry Volkov, a Special Forces operative with a talent for languages and infiltration, was checking and rechecking their weapons systems. Rounding out the team was Zain al-Rashid, a prodigy in xenotechnology and computer systems. Captain Yoshida addressed her crew, her voice firm, but tinged with anticipation. I won't sugarcoat this. What we're about to attempt is incredibly dangerous. We're heading into the heart of Galactic Council space with minimal intel and no backup. But what we learned could be the key to humanity's survival and our place in the galaxy. Any second thoughts? The crew's response was unanimous. They were ready. As the Shadow prepared for launch, Admiral Chen's voice came over the comms. "Godspeed, Shadow. The hopes of Earth go with you. Remember your training, trust each other, and above all, come back alive. We'll be waiting." With a silent burst of its advanced engines, the Shadow slipped away from Earth, cloaked from all known forms of detection. Their destination, the edge of known space and beyond. Weeks passed as the Shadow ventured deeper into uncharted territory. The crew worked tirelessly, analyzing data, intercepting communications, and piecing together a picture of the galactic political landscape. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange," Zane called out one day, his brow furrowed as he studied his console. "It's a transmission, but the encryption is like nothing I've seen before." Zara leaned over his shoulder, studying the data. "Can you crack it?" Zane shook his head. "Not quickly. But I can tell you this. It's not Galactic Council. This is something else entirely." Dr. Tanaka joined them, her eyes wide with excitement. "Another species, one unknown to the Council." "Possibly," Zane replied. "But whoever they are, they're using some seriously advanced tech, maybe even beyond the Council's capabilities." Zara's mind raced with possibilities. "Can you trace the signal's origin?" Zane nodded, his fingers flying over the holographic interface. "Got it. It's coming from a system about 2 light-years from here. No planets, just a massive asteroid field orbiting a red dwarf." "Asteroid field," Dmitri mused. "Perfect hiding spot for someone who doesn't want to be found." Zara made her decision. "Aisha, set a course. We're going to check it out. Full stealth protocols. If this is a potential ally, we need to make contact. If it's a new threat, we need to know." As the Shadow changed course, the crew felt a mixture of anticipation and dread. They were about to make first contact with an unknown species, far from home and without backup. The fate of Earth could hinge on what they discovered. Days later, as they approached the asteroid field, Yuki made a startling discovery. "Captain, these asteroids, they're not natural. The entire field is artificial, constructed around some sort of massive structure at its center." The main view screen zoomed in, revealing a colossal space station unlike anything they had ever seen. Its design was organic, almost living, with pulsing energy conduits and constantly shifting outer layers. "My God," Aisha whispered. "What is that?" Before anyone could respond, a massive energy surge emanated from the station. The Shadow's systems flickered, and for a heart-stopping moment, they feared their cloak had failed. Then a voice, not sound, but pure thought, resonated in their minds. "Greetings, children of Earth. We've been expecting you." The crew exchanged shocked glances. Zara, her voice barely a whisper, spoke for them all. "I think we just found what we were looking for, and I have a feeling nothing will ever be the same." As the Shadow drifted closer to the massive station, the crew of Earth's first deep space stealth mission realized they stood on the precipice of a discovery that would reshape humanity's understanding of the universe. The Galactic Council was no longer their only concern. A new player had entered the game, one whose motives and capabilities were yet unknown. The true test of humanity's place in the cosmos was about to begin. The cosmic chess game. The crew of the NSV Shadow stood frozen, their minds reeling from the telepathic contact. Captain Zara Yoshida was the first to regain her composure, years of training kicking in despite the unprecedented situation. "This is Captain Zara Yoshida of the Earth vessel Shadow. We come in peace and seek understanding." She projected her thoughts, hoping the beings would receive them. The response was immediate, a cascade of images and emotions flooding their minds. The crew saw glimpses of a civilization spanning eons, of technologies beyond their wildest dreams, and of a war, ancient and terrible, that had shaped the galaxy. Dr. Yuki Tanaka gasped, her scientific mind struggling to process the influx of information. They're called the Architects. They've been watching us, watching everything. Commander Aishan Kruma's eyes widened. The Galactic Council. They're not the true power in the galaxy, are they? A new voice, distinct and clear, resonated in their minds. Perceptive, young ones. We are the Nexus, the combined consciousness of the Architects. The Council is but a construct, a test we have long used to evaluate emerging species. Zara's mind raced with implications. A test. You mean our battle, our defiance, was observed, analyzed, and found intriguing. The Nexus replied. Your species has shown remarkable potential. Creative, adaptable, fiercely independent. Qualities we have long sought. Sergeant Dmitry Volkov, ever the pragmatist, interjected. And now what? What do you want from us? The response came with a wave of what felt like amusement. Want. We offer opportunity, young ones. The galaxy stands at a crossroads, and humanity may play a pivotal role in what is to come. Images flashed through their minds. Countless alien civilizations, some familiar from intercepted Council communications, others entirely unknown. They saw conflicts and alliances, technological marvels, and devastating weapons. Zain al-Rashid, his expertise in xenotechnology pushing him to the forefront, asked, "You're saying there's more out there, beyond even the Council's knowledge?" Indeed, the Nexus confirmed. The Council represents but a fraction of galactic civilization. There are forces at play they cannot comprehend, threats they are ill-equipped to face. Captain Yoshida, her tactical mind already analyzing the possibilities, pressed further. And you believe humanity can help face these threats? The sense of approval was palpable. Your battle against the Council fleet demonstrated a unique approach to problem-solving. Your technology, while primitive in many ways, shows remarkable innovation. But more than that, it is your spirit, your defiance in the face of overwhelming odds, that has caught our attention. Dr. Tanaka, her scientific curiosity overriding her caution, couldn't contain herself. The advancements you could offer us, the knowledge, it's beyond imagination. Knowledge is a double-edged sword, young scientist, the Nexus cautioned. We do not offer it freely or lightly. What we propose is an alliance, a partnership. We will guide your species, help you advance, but the path you take must be your own. Zara felt the weight of this moment, knowing that her next words could shape the future of humanity. And the Council, what becomes of them? The Council has served its purpose, but it has grown stagnant, corrupt. Change is needed. Your species could be the catalyst for that change. The implications were staggering. Humanity, barely out of its cradle, was being offered a chance to reshape galactic politics. But with that opportunity came enormous risk. We need to confer, Zara decided, looking at her crew. The Nexus presence receded, giving them privacy. The debate that followed was intense. Aisha argued for caution, wary of being pawns in a game they didn't fully understand. Dmitry saw the military advantages, the chance to secure Earth's safety. Yuki and Zain were enthralled by the potential scientific and technological leaps. We can't make this decision alone, Zara finally said. This affects all of humanity. We need to report back to Earth. The crew agreed, but as they prepared to leave, the Nexus reached out once more. A warning, brave explorers. The knowledge of our existence is dangerous. There are factions within the Council, and beyond who would stop at nothing to prevent this shift in power. Your journey home may not be as uneventful as your journey here. With that ominous warning, the Shadow departed, its stealth systems engaged and its crew more alert than ever. The return journey was tense, each member of the crew processing the enormous implications of their discovery. They were 2 days from Earth when Zane's console lit up with warnings. Multiple ships dropping out of FTL. He shouted, "They're not Council designs. I've never seen anything like them." On the view screen, a fleet of sleek, predatory-looking ships appeared. Their design was organic, almost alive, with pulsing energy patterns running along their hulls. Evasive maneuvers, Zara ordered, but before Aisha could comply, a massive energy web spread out from the alien fleet, ensnaring the shadow. Alarms blared as the ship's systems began to fail. They'd got some kind of dampening field, Zane reported, his fingers flying over his console. Stealth is down, weapons offline. As the shadow was drawn inexorably towards the largest of the alien ships, a harsh, guttural voice filled their comms. Foolish creatures. Did you think the Architect's pets would be allowed to upset the balance? The Dominion does not tolerate interference. Zara's mind raced. The Dominion, another player in this cosmic game, one the Nexus had warned them about. As her crew fought to regain control of their ship, she realized that humanity had just been thrust onto a galactic stage far larger and more complex than they had ever imagined. The Shadow, Earth's greatest technological achievement, was helpless in the grip of the Dominion's energy web. As they were pulled towards the alien flagship, Zara made a decision. Zane, can you send a burst transmission to Earth? Encrypt it with everything we've got. The young technician nodded grimly. It'll burn out our comms, but I can do it. Do it, Zara ordered. Send them everything. About the Architects, the Nexus, this Dominion. Earth needs to know what's out here. As the transmission was sent, frying their communication systems in the process, the crew of the Shadow prepared for the unknown. They had discovered wonders beyond imagination and terrors beyond comprehension. Now, as they faced capture by a mysterious and hostile force, they could only hope that the information they sent would give Earth a fighting chance in the cosmic chess game they had unwittingly entered. The Shadow, its stealth stripped away and its defenses neutralized, was swallowed by the massive hangar of the Dominion flagship. As the crew was led out at gunpoint by towering armored aliens, Zara's last thought was of Earth. They had set out to gather intelligence and find potential allies. They had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams and their worst nightmares. As the hangar doors closed behind them, Zara realized that their true mission was just beginning. Somehow, they needed to escape, to warn Earth about the Dominion, and to find a way to turn this desperate situation to humanity's advantage. The galaxy was larger, more wonderful, and more terrifying than they had ever imagined. And humanity's trial by fire had only just begun. A new dawn for humanity. The cavernous holding cell of the Dominion flagship pulsed with an eerie bioluminescent light. Captain Zara Yoshida paced restlessly, her mind racing through possible escape scenarios. The rest of the Shadow's crew sat in tense silence, each grappling with the gravity of their situation. Any luck with that control panel, Zane? Zara asked, glancing at the young technician who had been surreptitiously examining the cell's locking mechanism. Zane shook his head, frustration evident in his voice. It's like nothing I've ever seen, Captain. The technology is. It's almost alive. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, her scientific curiosity piqued even in their dire circumstances, chimed in. The entire ship seems to be a hybrid of organic and mechanical systems. If we could understand it, the applications would be revolutionary. Fat lot of good it does us now, Sergeant Dmitry Volkov grumbled, testing the strength of the pulsating energy barrier for the umpteenth time. Commander Isham Kruma, who had been silent for hours, suddenly sat up straight. Wait, do you hear that? The crew fell silent, straining their ears. A faint, rhythmic thudding was growing louder, accompanied by the sound of energy weapons discharging. Suddenly, the energy barrier flickered and died. Standing in the doorway, surrounded by the smoking remains of Dominion guards, was a figure that made the crew's jaws drop in astonishment. Hey, it's Aharla, Zara exclaimed, recognizing the Galactic Council emissary who had once threatened Earth. The insectoid alien's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Surprised to see me, humans. It seems we find ourselves with aligned interests. Before anyone could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the ship. Zarlath gestured urgently. Quickly, We don't have much time. Your ship is in Hangar Bay 7. We must reach it before. His words were cut off by a massive explosion that rocked the entire vessel. The crew stumbled, struggling to keep their footing. What was that? Dmitri shouted over the cacophony of alarms and distant weapons fire. Zarlath's compound eyes gleamed. That would be your reinforcements. As they raced through the winding, organic corridors of the Dominion ship, a battle raged around them. Council forces clashed with Dominion defenders, energy weapons scorching the living walls. I don't understand, Zara panted as they ran. Why is the Council helping us? Zarlath's response was grim. The Dominion is a threat to us all. When we received your transmission about the Architects and the Nexus, we realized how blind we had been. The Council is not what we thought it was. They burst into Hangar Bay 7, where the Shadows sat, miraculously untouched. As they approached, a squad of Dominion soldiers appeared, cutting off their escape. Go, Zarlath shouted, producing a weapon. I'll hold them off. Zara hesitated for a split second, then nodded. Thank you, Zarlath. Whatever happens, Earth will remember this. As the Shadow's engines roared to life, Zara caught a last glimpse of Zarlath, the once haughty emissary now fighting alongside humans against a common foe. The space around the Dominion flagship was chaos. Council ships exchanged fire with Dominion vessels, while a third faction, sleek, almost ethereal ships that seemed to phase in and out of reality, joined the fray. The Architects, Yuki breathed in awe as one of the phase-shifting ships effortlessly disabled a Dominion cruiser. As the shadow weaved through the battle, a transmission cut through the static. Admiral Chen's voice, tense but clear, filled the bridge. Shadow, this is Earth Fleet. We're opening a path for you. Get back home. Now. Zara's eyes widened as she saw the massive form of the Defiance leading a fleet of Earth ships into the battle. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage in force. Admiral, Zara responded, relief evident in her voice. You're not going to believe what we've discovered. Months later, Zara stood before the United Earth Council, her crew beside her. The chamber was packed, with representatives not just from Earth, but from the reformed Galactic Council, and most surprisingly, a delegation from the Architects themselves. Secretary General Amina Okafor's voice rang out. Captain Yoshida, your mission has irreversibly altered the course of human history. Thanks to the alliance you've helped forge, Earth now stands as a key player in galactic affairs. The question before us now is, where do we go from here? Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of this moment. Madam Secretary, esteemed delegates, what we've learned is that the galaxy is far more complex, dangerous, and wondrous than we ever imagined. The Dominion threat remains, and there are likely other forces out there we've yet to encounter. She paused, looking at each of her crew members in turn. But we've also seen the power of cooperation. Humans, the Council, the Architects. We all have strengths to offer. I believe our path forward is clear. We must continue to explore, to learn, and to build bridges between civilizations. The Architect representative, a being of pure energy contained in a humanoid form, spoke next. Its voice resonated not just in their ears, but in their minds. The humans speak wisely. For too long, we Architects watched from afar. No more. Together, we can forge a new future for this galaxy. As the chamber erupted in discussion, Zara and her crew shared a quiet moment. They had set out to save Earth from one threat, only to uncover a universe far grander and more perilous than they had ever dreamed. But they had also discovered that humanity's greatest strengths, adaptability, creativity, and an indomitable spirit, were exactly what the galaxy needed. Admiral Chen approached them, a rare smile on his face. Well done, all of you. But I hope you're not planning on resting on your laurels. We're establishing a new division, the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps, and I can't think of anyone better suited to lead it. Zara looked at her crew, saw the excitement and determination in their eyes, and knew that their greatest adventures were still to come. Humanity had taken its first true steps into the cosmic community, and the universe would never be the same. As the Earth rotated slowly below, visible through the chamber's massive windows, Zara felt a surge of pride and hope. They had faced extinction and emerged stronger. They had encountered wonders beyond imagination and horrors beyond comprehension. And through it all, the human spirit had not just endured, but thrived. The stars no longer seemed distant and cold. They were a challenge, an invitation, a promise of adventures to come. And humanity, united and undaunted, was ready to answer that call. As the council session concluded and plans were laid for humanity's new role in the galaxy, Zara knew that this was not an ending, but a beginning. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, but with courage, compassion, and an unwavering spirit, humanity would make its mark among the stars. The journey that had begun with a demand for tribute had led to humanity's ascension as a galactic power. And as Zara and her crew prepared for their next mission, they carried with them the hopes and dreams of their entire species. The cosmos awaited, and humanity was ready to embrace its destiny.